working for you.
And this is Saturday, March the 23rd, and you have indeed entered overtime, where we are reminded today all too well that there is nothing more predictable in this world than unpredictable weather in the Midwest. And when that falls on a Saturday, our game windows tend to take a significant hit. So if it were not for the intrepid soccer girls today playing on the pitch in shorts in near freezing weather, I have no idea what I would be filling this quality 30-minute highlight show with tonight. So it is that we start our saga with the showcase at Quincy High School and the host squad bright and early at 9 a.m. taking on the Zizzers of West Plain in this one. 34 degrees at game time. Taylor Ruth isn't daunted, nor are her teammates. Blue Devils strike first in this one. 8 minutes deep, it is Ryan Moore with the corner restart, headed home neatly by your reigning student athlete of the week, Bree Lannard. Yes, it's 1-0, and that's a good place to start. But we're not done. Good first half for the Blue Devils, and this time it will be Bree Lannard on the setup work. And check out Kirsten Kramer, man, wide open with a keeper, dekes the defender. Little left foot flick, and yes, it's 2-0 at that point. Still first half in this one. Apparently, the Blue Devils are morning people. We'd see it yet again. This time, Ryan Moore is pushing, and she is going to find a wide open Taylor Ruth, and that is a nifty little pop into the back of the net. And Miss Ruth is not done. She is going to do some setup work. Again, we'll bring it full circle. The fourth goal of the first half. And yes, it was a good output and a good start for the Devils. They didn't score in the second half. Didn't need to. Quincy High wins this one 4-0, which would set up a de facto championship game with Ladue, who beat up on Quincy Notre Dame. Ladue is really good. Quincy Notre Dame, obviously with some players missing, Spain trip, a couple of injuries they're dealing with, but Ladue is legit as well and didn't allow Quincy Notre Dame any offense in that one. 3-0 was your final, which brings us to your afternoon championship de facto game. I mentioned Ladue versus Quincy High School, and you know what? Taylor Foey was a busy young lady in the back. Your Blue Devil keeper under constant duress and assault. Yeah, I told you, Ladue doing it really, really well offensively, but Taylor was there. In the first half, she was a stone wall, save for one opportunity, and that would be where Ladue would break through and get the first goal of the game. One more from Taylor, as you saw, but Quincy High School gives up 1 goal in the first, 2 in the second, and like everybody else, can't find a way to score on a really good Ladue defense with an outstanding keeper. And Quincy High School ends up losing this one by the final count of 3-0. So Ladue is your champion. All right, how about the Hannibal Lady Pirates? Big off that tie with Quincy High School last night. Going back to work in this one, taking on Springfield today. This was the 10:30 game, and apparently all of that great energy for last night for Hannibal was kind of dissipated. Early on, they give up 3 goals in the first 8 minutes, and that's a tough place to be. Your lone bright spot in the first half for Hannibal would be the youngster, Miss Allie Falconer, stepping up and doing her thing right here. She scored the lone goal of the first half. Nifty little shot, upper 90 to make that happen. But 4 unanswered goals later from Springfield. They had a 7-1 lead. Hannibal would notch a late goal, but Eric Hill clearly not happy with the energy in this one as his team loses for the first time this season, 7-2. But the good news for the Lady Pirates would be that later that afternoon they would have a bounce-back opportunity against West Plains, and man, did they take advantage of that. We take you to those highlights now with Hannibal already up 1-0 in this one. Abby Martin and company looked like a different team in the afternoon session. Starts with the corner restart right here from Keegan Greening. Allie Falconer again with the instep of her foot knocks that home. Pretty nifty stuff to make it 2-0. What a day for Allie Falconer. She had 4 goals on the day combined between the 2 games. More on that in a second. Abby Martin going to send one right here for Danica Caselli. This is a good cross from her at the back end of this, and it is neatly deflected home by Malia Stolte, and what a difference she has made joining the soccer team this year. You know her from her volleyball and basketball wizardry. Well, you know what? She had a hat trick in her first game out and back after scoring her first career goal. And here, off the feed from Abby Martin, who got her shorts tugged, by the way, en route to that upper 90 again. this was a big day for Malia as well. It's 4-0 right here at the end of the first half in favor of the Lady Pirates. They're not done. The second half just starting, and again, how about that hat trick early? Is Miss Stolte going to go on the runaway and the run out, and just like a basket, this was a layup at the back end of it, kind of. She bounced it home. Nifty, nifty Karam on that one. She felt a little lucky, as well she should have. Still, the shot counts, and it's a nifty goal made it at that point. 5-0. Then more to come in this one. Check out the header from Miss Abby Martin. Beautiful corner restart. You can't do it much better than this. Bang. At that point, that's a 5-0 lead. We're still not done at this point, or 6-0 at that point. Ashley Davis time to leave this out. This was a goal so pretty, we're going to slow it down for you as well. It's always better when the keeper goes flying past. Hannibal built 7 unanswered goals in this one, ends up winning 7-2 on the day. So they do get the victorious thing to hammer in home. And again, check out that beautiful stuff right there from Miss Ashley Davis to cap our highlights. All right, non-showcase highlights now. Macomb taking on Orion Sherrard today. And we'll start you off in this one with Jessie Trost not letting anything happen in this game, despite being under duress in her own right. Beautiful save for her right there. She was on her game today. Orion, though, would get on the scoreboard first. They would hit the crossbar. Macomb argued it never crossed the line, and they probably had a pretty good argument there. But the goal is awarded to Orion at that point. How about Kylie Robinson, though? She's been a goal-scoring machine early in the season. She gets the answer, ties this thing up at 1 at the half. Second half, though, it would be, you know what? Miss Trost doing some wonderful stuff at the back end of this with the saves and the work she did. Unfortunately, she deserved better in terms of a win today. She would not get it as Macomb would fall. 3-1 was your final. I think that's just the second loss of the season for Macomb, which also dropped the championship game of that wonderful showing in East Peoria. I tell you what, though, don't sleep on Macomb soccer. That is a rising squad. Speaking of Macomb and rising, how about the freshman Aubrey Holthouse in the biggest indoor meet in the state of Illinois? You have to qualify for this during the indoor season to make it to state. Aubrey Holthouse did, and she won the high jump today at 1.62 meters. Good stuff for her. I believe it was the high jump. Might have been the long jump. I'm sorry. I will, whatever it was, state championship for Aubrey Holthouse. I will double check that in the break because I think we might have made a mistake on the graphic there. But again, congratulations to Aubrey Holthouse, a newly minted state champion there. We also have some good news on the archery front in Northeast Missouri. Big showing by South Shelby as a team today, and by, in particular, Gabe Bowen, who finishes in 4th place overall. He was 2nd among 11th graders, so congratulations to him. On the girls' side as well, congratulations to Harley Fuller, who ended up with a 21st place finish as well. She showed out nicely, and some tennis scores to pass along to you as well. Quincy High School today takes 2nd place in the loaded Metamora Invitational, losing only to the eventual champion in this one, Powerhouse Belleville East. We did have a smattering of baseball, most of it to our south today. Hannibal played a pair of games down at Warrenton. The first game, not so good. The second game, the Hannibal, we think we're going to see this spring. Hannibal beats Wright City. 10-8 was your final. Cooper Scott with a couple of ribbies in that one to help his team end up with the victory and the split on the day. Rough day for Macon. Kirksville is the deal. We saw them here in town this week against Quincy High School, and man, they are still undefeated. 1-2 today and beat beat Macon by 15 runs. Also today at the Highland Slam, Highland, Illinois beats Quincy Notre Dame. 5-1 was your final there. Macomb, a rough day on the baseball diamond, taking on a very good United Township squad up in the Quad Cities. They lose 10-0 and 12-2 in that one. A rough day as well for the only undefeated, well, not the only undefeated team, but maybe the powerhouse of all powerhouses in West Central Illinois baseball. Route Catholic loses for the 1st and 2nd time this season, again against phenomenal competition. The Bats just weren't there for the Rockets. They lose 2-1 to Monticello and 3-1 today to St. Joe Ogden. Route is now 6-2 on the season. Wasted a really good pitching effort from Conrad Charpentier in the offing in that contest. And we are just getting warmed up here on the Big Overtime Show. We have got some baseball highlights and some signing news coming your way straight ahead.
Or on our free KHQA News app. Your picture could appear on KHQA this morning. Chime in with KHQA. You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
It was apparently a tap the handrail kind of day for Quincy University baseball. I'm not fluent in shizzle-ese, but apparently it wasn't good. Game 2 of the series started well enough. Kobe Essien on the bump and looking really good. He scattered 4 hits today and struck out 6, the prettiest of which comes with this nasty Uncle Charlie right there. I tell you what, by bottom of the 4th in this one, the Hawks get their offense going a little bit. Austin Simpson with a choppa to right field makes that happen, and all of a sudden it's 1-0 Hawks. Remember, they won on Friday, so trying to take a commanding series lead in this one. You know what, though? Rockhurst had other ideas. Michael Novak going to step to the plate with 2 aboard right here, and he's going to get to Kobe with a little looper into short right field at plates 2. It's 2-1 at that point. Bottom of the 5th, the Hawks had a chance maybe with something brewing right here, but they would be undone with some great defensive work right here at first base by the 3-5 double play of something that looked like it was rolling for extra bases. No more runs at that point. Essien, man, check out the leather right here, trying to get himself out of a jam in the top of the 7th. Good work to get the out. However, he would leave. Tim Reinholz comes on in relief. There's something you don't see every day. Somebody breaking their composite bat? Well, apparently the frustration would be short-lived because coming up in just a second, Andrew Loffelman would deliver what turned out to be the backbreaker as the Hawks lose the 2nd game of the series. Final count in that one was 5-1. The 3rd game also played today wasn't any better for QU as they give up 11 runs in the offing and get beat 11-7. So the best the Hawks can do tomorrow is split the series with Rockhurst. Zach Richardson will have those highlights coming your way tomorrow. Also today, Western Illinois wins one over UT Martin 7-6, which clinches a series win in their first Ohio Valley Conference home series in their existence. Also today, Culver Stockton, a rough day. Couldn't find any offense today at the expense of William Penn. Shut out twice, but on a happier front for the Wildcats, they received recruiting reinforcement this week by way of Warsaw, Illinois, with the signing of Mason Stevenson.
Batting average of I really like the campus. It's pretty cool. It's nothing too fancy. It's just something that I like. Those facilities are going to make me better no matter what. And I got people that I know who have been through the program, people who are currently going there that I've played with. So it's just going to be really cool to be able to continue that with them. I know for a fact that my arm strength needs to be better. I don't throw the ball very hard, but I'll be able to make the play. I'd like to be able to get to where I can play on the left side of the infield at the college level, which that's going to be a big jump. And hitting can always improve. I mean, in baseball, no one's ever perfect, so you can always be perfect. So, I mean, well, my dad played baseball, so I always wanted to carry on that legacy and be able to work hard and do what my dad did. And I just love baseball in general. It's always my favorite sport. I've had the most success. It feels more natural to me. I'm pursuing physical education, so I'm going to try and be a PE teacher somewhere, maybe in Iowa, maybe see if it pays a little bit better. But I'd like to be maybe a superintendent or a principal after, so I'll have to get my master's or maybe an admin degree of some sort.
Again, a wonderful week over at Warsaw with those 5 signings. Now, we've also got some softball scores to pass along. Kind of a good news, bad news proposition for Quincy University in Kirksville today. Abby Holtz, the pride of Canton, Missouri, with the win in game number 1. Complete game shutout with 9 strikeouts. Truman State, though, bounces back in the 2nd contest to get the split. Culver Stockton today struggling as well. They end up getting swept today at Baker. Do the Wildcats 10-1 and 4-1 is your final. Now, because there's just one of me, there are occasions where sometimes the logistics cause snafus, which do not allow us to cover and get to every college signing. So we have a little bit of time tonight, a couple of Chris Duerr make goods, if you will. Our congratulations to talented Pleasant Hill infielder Madison Daniels. She signed to continue her softball career on Thursday with Culver Stockton. And when we get a chance up the road covering the Lady Wolves, we'll track down Madison for an interview on her choice. Also a shout out to former Tri-State resident turned La Plata All-State pitcher Whitney Snow, who I found out tonight has signed her letter of intent to continue in the circle her career at Mo Baptist as well. More signing news and more for Culver Stockton coming your way right now, as well as we found out kind of after the fact in this one that Hannibal's Crystal Kreider has signed to cheer competitively for Culver Stockton in her future. She did that back on March the 7th, but because we've had such a backlog of signings, just now getting to that. So our apologies to Crystal, very talented young lady who also plans to study business and entrepreneurship when she gets to the Hill in Canton. So our congratulations to her as well. More news from Culver Stockton as well today. A pretty good darn showing for the locals today from Culver Stockton on the track at the Washington University Open down in St. Louis. Now, the Culver Stockton men and women both finished 4th out of 5 teams there, but some really strong local showings. Headlined today by Miss Shannon O'Neill from Liberty High School in Liberty, Illinois, who won both the 100 and the 400 meter today. Delaney Strauss had herself a pretty darn good day out of Marion County. She was 4th in the javelin. She was also 5th in the 100, 8th in the 800, and 8th in the long jump. Talk about taking care of business, as did, speaking of the pride of Northeast Missouri, our guy Drew Mallett from Highland High School, showing out in the 110 meter hurdles where he finished 5th today. 7th in the long jump, and his best today, the javelin. He finished 3rd, which, if you remember Drew Mallett, the quarterback, shouldn't surprise anybody. He threw that javelin 129 feet and 2 inches. By the way, not pictured here, but we found out later that the pride of Monroe City, Logan Lucas, today also set and shattered, by the way, along the way, a new record in the 3,000 meter steeplechase in a time of 9:49. Good stuff for him. Again, a lot of good locals on that Culver Stockton men and women's track and field team, which I think portends a pretty darn good future moving ahead for us as well. All right, some high school football news on our radar today, as well as Quincy High School defensive back and reigning KHQA Breakout Player of the Year, Rico Clay, blew up my X account, formerly known as Twitter, with word of his first Division I scholarship offers today. I said offers plural. First came word of an offer from Illinois State, and then shortly thereafter for Rico, an offer at Western Illinois University. Rico is the second known member of the class of 2025 from our region to merit a Division I football offer. Bowling Green All-State tight end Aiden Grody received a Lindenwood offer. I think it was about 10 days ago now. Rico, by the way, posted 5 total interceptions this year. The caveat on that is 3 of them were of the pick 6 variety. He also had 32 tackles on the season as well. And to update, Aubrey Holthouse won her state title in the high jump, not the long jump. I was right the first time around, but because somebody didn't get enough sleep last night, they typed the super wrong. So I do apologize to the freshman Aubrey Holthouse from Macomb on her state title. We'll have more overtime coming your way after this.
2 hand-breaded chicken wraps for lunch or dinner. Morning to night, get 2 wraps, $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
So absent a whole lot of content today, we thought discussion might be fun. And as the spring sports season has now officially sprung, we tried to project for you who we thought among our area denizens had the best chance to maybe win a team state title this year. This is my best guess at our top 5 candidates. You feel free to chime in on social media if you think I've egregiously missed somebody. But I really think if we're going to put money on the deal, and don't do this, this is for entertainment purposes only, I really think the Bowling Green boys have the best chances. The defending state champions, obviously, bringing back 2 guys who I think are all but guaranteed to be on a podium and maybe really high on that podium and maybe at the top, and Blaine Bryant and obviously Ben Chance. That really starts things off as well. Obviously, a lot of great guys, including a couple of state champs, have graduated. They've got some dudes, though, waiting in the wings. Check out Mr. Orff in particular. If you watched any football, you know that the young man is a sprinter par excellence. So I've got Bowling Green number 1. I think based on path and returning talent and the fact that they've got unbelievable pitching, Pleasant Hill softball might be our best diamond chance to get to state and win the thing. Although you still have to deal with, on the baseball side, Route Catholic. Obviously took their lumps today, but again, really good small school powerhouse. I also think Pittsfield, with the pitching staff that's coming back there for Zach Ferguson, where you really have the equivalent of 3 aces, makes a world of difference. And I know Quincy Notre Dame has a world of questions, but the core for the Q&D softball squad, their starting 6, if you will, minus the questions, are as good as anybody's first 6. So that's kind of the way we project it coming into this season. Obviously, we'll get to know, provided Mother Nature cooperates a little better in the coming days. And we'll have more overtime coming your way straight after this.
players, and staff. Tune in during KHQA This Morning and KHQA News at 5 each Thursday for expert advice on how to maintain and improve your health.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
So last week, good people, I stood in this very spot right here and lied to you people like a lying liar when I told you it would probably take me another 2 to 3 weeks to finish the All Do or Die boys basketball team for our internet. Well, your boy got motivated, your boy likes to write, and this thing may get done as early as Tuesday of this week. So be on the lookout, KHQA.com. Again, like with our girls' side of things, it's a complete breakdown of the players we'd want on our team in a do or die situation, thus the name. So coming your way soon if you're a basketball fan, the extra goodies that you crave, and obviously looking forward to getting that into your hands, and that will be our final act of the basketball season. Hopefully, a lot of good stuff coming your way this week. Obviously, we've got some college signings to deal with, Fort Madison and other places as well. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Looks like it will after maybe Monday or Tuesday. Some big baseball and softball games out there as well as we continue to try to get to everybody on a very short clock. And I think we're going to get our first track and field this weekend as well. So look forward to seeing you out there on the path. Hopefully next weekend, better weather. Really missed the Q&D Slam today. Was hoping to get some softball over there with Q&D and Illini West. Unfortunately, Mother Nature wins yet again.